Some people say Canelo went from being King Canelo to a cautionary tale. That's the Canelo story. I don't think that's fair to say about Canelo. As far as how will history remember him, I think if they're fair to Canelo, they'll remember him as a guy who stayed active, who understood he was the face of boxing, and who made sure to give fans more than enough of himself. At the same time, he made some money, and you can't fault him for that. Canelo was a shrewd businessman. He made sure he got the maximum amount of money he can get. Even when it comes to the events, he got a percentage off of everything, because with the Canelo event, everyone got paid, but he had to make sure that he got paid. But as far as anyone thinking that Canelo's legacy is in jeopardy after the Crawford loss, his legacy is not in jeopardy. His legacy is cemented. He's in the history books. It's really up to him and what he does next. We know he has a couple contractual obligations with Turki al-Sheikh that he's got to fulfill. But the reality of the situation is Canelo's on a decline. And you know what sucks in the sport of boxing is that fans, they won't forgive Canelo for showing decline. They won't forgive him for possibly, like really blatantly cherry picking his last couple opponents out of fear of being stopped. So Canelo is choosing to stop fighting after these last two fights to prevent getting stopped in the ring. And I don't blame him. But as far as the Canelo fans out there that's turned your back on him, and I know a lot of people have issues about Canelo, there's a lot of material there to work with. But the bottom line is, I don't care what you say about Canelo, what you like, what you don't like. One thing we have not been able to say about Canelo is say he ducked people, he cherry picked, he had weight, these rehydration clauses, they had to meet at catch weights. We can say whatever we want about that. But one thing you can't say is Canelo fought once a year. Canelo was inactive. No, Canelo was very active. Matter of fact, he's the standard. Every one of these champions, if Canelo as a face of boxing was out here putting in work the way he did over his whole career, all these guys should be putting in that work. But anyway, Canelo, from king to cautionary tale, that's almost the Canelo story after the Terence Crawford loss.